Hey, everybody. So there we are. I'm live right now. And I'm also live with some people on Instagram. They want to check me out. So check it out. Go to YouTube right now. Make sure you're a subscriber. We're going to be doing some nice giveaways tonight. I can't wait for the show to start. Wait a minute. The show started, right?
It started.
Come on. The only thing you're not doing, and I want the viewers to see this. Look at my wife. Hi, honey.
Hi.
And look where the mic is. Here you go. Now say hi.
Hi.
There you go. Jesus, my goodness.
Okay.
Let's not bring up the man's name in vain. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the show. Check me out on YouTube, Mr. Poseidon. It's always a good show, always a good guest. And you know who's on today? Who's on today, honey?
Matt, also known as Night Shift Fishing.
And his fishing is done where?
Cape Cod Canal.
I thought it was Cape Canaveral. Oh, no, that's I Dream of Jeannie. All right, so anyway, stop with the corny jokes.
So
guys, we'll
silly.
see you on YouTube. Check me out. See you then. We've got a good giveaway today and some really good news. Bye. So that. All right, now I can concentrate on my subscribers here on YouTube.
What's
I'm
that little
sorry.
thing on
I'm
your
sorry.
head?
I'm treating you like second-place citizens. I can't do that.
What's this?
What's what? Oh, on my cap? Oh, I'm sorry. 401 plugs. There he is. How you doing, Will? Great stuff. Check him out on YouTube. Always the best. Okay, let's discard that. And now we can shut it off. Make sure the volume is off. It's very important when you do shows that the volume is off on your phone. All right, so anyway, welcome to the show. I'm Mr. Poseidon. How you doing? Let's go over to my wife, my lovely wife, Mrs. P. How you doing, Miss P?
Hi, we're back from Montauk. I hope everybody enjoyed the
We got
stream
back from Montauk a few days ago.
Montauk.
We didn't just get back. You know what I mean?
I
No, I'm
think
just
they know
kidding.
that.
I know. But it was
Just
great,
food.
right? Wasn't Montauk great?
Beautiful, beautiful. We hung out with our friends, Rick and Beth.
Yeah, we were Rick Hernandez. That's Bass Bully, right? Bass Bully Fishing. Sorry. There's Bass _Bully _Fishing. We'll put that on the bottom. Can you write that down? And his girlfriend, Beth, who is the one, right?
On Instagram.
On
yeah.
Instagram. Every time she posts a picture of herself, I always have to get involved and say, that's a Surfcaster's girl right there. So anyway, other than that, it's always good to see you guys. I'm always excited about Sunday nights. I didn't have my shades coming out here tonight.
Oh.
So, hey, man, listen. It's going to be a good show today. Today I got, like I said, like my wife said, we got Matt from Night Shift Fishing, a guy who's very knowledgeable on the canal. And what canal is that, honey?
Cape Cod Canal.
There you go. The Cape Canaveral. No, I'm just kidding. The Cape Cod Canal. He's very knowledgeable out there. He's got a team out there or a network of guys that lead to more networks and more networks and more networks, which tell me that Matt is a very knowledgeable guy in that canal. So we're going to meet him tonight. If you haven't met him already, he's been on the show. He was on actually live in studio at the Cape Cod Canal where we were staying. That was a great, fun show. And his his wife was there. Emily, right, honey?
Yes.
Emily's very nice, isn't she, honey?
Super nice.
Yeah, at
We
Matt,
had some good lobster rolls over
we
there.
would have
at
had
Cape
good
Cod.
chocolate chip cookies, but Matt ate them on the road. Remember that? Anyway, that's all right. That's all right. We got over that a long time ago.
I
Still a
forgot
little,
about
there's
that.
still a little, pump in my heart for that chocolate. But anyway,
Oh.
other than that, don't worry about it, Matt. You know I'm only kidding. I want to say a couple of nice things out there. The Striper Hunt. How you doing, buddy?
Hey.
This guy's always donating to the channel.
Nice. Thank
He's
you.
always donating to the channel, this guy. Thank you so much, buddy. All right, so let me continue. Guys like Turtle Cove Tackle, I want to mention them. This is a good company, guys. I love their product. I use my holster with them. I also have my Boga grip with the lanyard, which is my favorite. That thing is great. When you're in the water, you want to get your Boga out quickly, just slip it right out, and you're ready to go. Now, for those guys who don't believe in Bogas, we're still allowed. It's not illegal. Take it easy. I love you. I still love you guys. I'm trying to break away from it slowly, even though I've been, using it for so many years. I have the 30-pounder, and I also have the 60-pounder. And Brian, it's coming, buddy. So anyway, let's say hello to some people out there before we start the show. Catskill Outdoors. Guys, I want you to know about Catskill Outdoors. He's a young kid, and he's out there with his dad all the time. He's fishing the Hudson up north. Nice. He does freshwater fishing and also his favorite, which is striped bass. The kid started out on YouTube. I think he's doing great. I want you guys to subscribe to his channel if you can. I follow him. He's a good kid, man. He does his fishing. He knows his fishing. And I know he's going to be a good one day up there with the rest of those million subscribed YouTube guys. But anyway, let's continue. Bloodline Fishing Adventures writes, Matt is the man. Very good, Matt. One compliment tonight for you. Very good. We're going to get a lot more. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Tom Hood. Hey, Oski, how you doing? That's Tom Hood. He's up in Rhode Island. He's the kayak fisherman, man. I love Tom Hood. Tom Hood's a good man. Always been here since the start. Let's keep going. Bill Jacob. Bill Jacob, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Says, hey, ready to watch the great show. I'm resting after getting beat up pretty hood on the 1 to 6 a.m. shift. Wow. Ooh. You know Bill Jacob doesn't fool around. He sees a couple of guys posting sizable fish. I'm not even Hold on. Is it on anybody? Can anybody hear me now? Nope. I'm going to have to restart this thing, honey.
No. This can't.
I can hear you, it
okay.
says. Hold on.
Okay,
You're back.
it says we're on.
Oh, man. What a killer.
I don't know what
and all we had to do was start the
that machine
the Roadcaster. Holy man. You mean I got to do this all again? Freak this. Go turn on the air conditioner right now.
What was the last thing everybody heard? Who knows? Oh, boy.
There was nothing ever heard.
Thank you guys for...
Thank you for sitting there and having two retards going like this. And there it is. Everybody's telling you no sound. And I'm so sorry. I really am.
It wouldn't be a Mr. Poseidon show if something didn't go wrong.
Danny, thank you for that
just
message also. Danny also messaged me. This is horrible.
It says, total noob fishing. The $4.99 helped pay the audio bill. Yes.
Poseidon show. All right.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, here's Matt.
Here's Matt. Let's get him on. I said thank yous to everybody. I'm so sorry about that. Let's go. Here we go.
Saying hello to people.
Hello to people. Just wasting everybody's time tonight. Some people are sitting there going, "You waste my weekend. You waste my time every week." Okay, that's enough. Here we go.
Thank you guys.
Matt, how you doing, Matt? Welcome to the show.
Good, Mr. P. Good.
Oh my goodness! For one second, I was looking down. I was like, "Matt, how you doing?" All of a sudden, I didn't hear anything, and I'm like, "Oh no!" And I looked up, and you say, "Hey, Mr. P, good." Yes, I'm so glad you're good because we had a rough one there for about what? How long did that last? About a minute and a half.
Good.
That was quicker than on the honeymoon after the wedding. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Bad jokes.
Oh my goodness! All right,
what's going on, Matt?
What's going on, buddy?
It's beautiful here on Cape Cod. I got to tell you, it's a nice time of year.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yep.
After all that bad air went away.
Yeah, we got a lot of the smoke late in the week, but this weekend was pretty good. It was a little Saturday morning, but it's cleared up. It's actually nice to be outside.
I know. The sun was able to come through again. That was pretty bad there for a couple of days. It was kind of scary.
Yeah, I think you guys had it a lot worse than we did, that's for sure.
I think so.
Matt, so let's get right to it. No, I'm just kidding. No more of that tonight. Matt, I just want to say that I'm glad you came on tonight. I know I had it a little rough, but you're always there in the punch, and it was like God sent that happened. But I'm glad you're on the show. If anybody had thought that Klondike Lures is going to be on, he's going to be on the 23rd of this month, June. Kid makes some excellent lures. But, hey, no worries. We're all set with that one. Let's get back to Matt here. Let's talk about him. Matt, I'm very excited to talk about the canal before anything dead. As if anybody knows, we will be telling the story of Matt, while he was fishing, came upon a dead guy. I don't know how you guys would react, but personally, I want to hear this story because I haven't heard it, and I'm being honest. I've not heard it. If I did, my brain's a little fried. But anyway, Mr. Pineapple doesn't have anything to do with that. But other than that, we're going to be hearing that story from Matt, and it's a good one. From what I heard, it's a good one. So let's get over to Matt, and let's talk about the canal. What's been going on in the canal in the spring run, Matt? I haven't asked you. Now, I know, but I want you to tell everybody out there.
Sure. So it's been a great spring here on Cape Cod. We fish started arriving probably a little early, and then as expected in April. So it was good fish in April. And then in May, it seemed like the larger fish started showing up earlier. So we've had good fishing. It's been pretty consistent. There's been some up and down times as you'd get anywhere. But there's a big group of people that are frequent the canal. A lot of us talk with one another and, listening to what everyone's seeing and what they're experiencing at different times. It's been good. Hopefully last year it got real slow in the middle of the season in the canal, and there might have been a couple reasons for that, but hopefully we don't see that this year. It's definitely ahead of schedule in terms of everything we're seeing, which is nice, and just hope it continues, really.
Yeah, I got to say, I love the canal. I had a great time with you and Emily last year. So did my wife. We all went up the strip and down the strip. You taught us everything we need to know about the canal, except you didn't teach me anything about catching cows. And I know you're holding that a secret, man. You're breaking my heart a little bit, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Once I
He's
catch
teaching.
that big one without you around, I'm sure I'll post that. You'll be the first one to get that. But anyway, no, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
well, that's
man.
lesson
I'm
2.
kidding. So as far as
That's
this
fun.
year, I know we got Vinny on right now. That's fishing with, oops, did I just make a boo-boo, honey?
What did you do?
Something just went. Matt, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
Good. So basically what I'm saying is that fishing with Vinny's out there also. I know that's one of your contacts out there. Fishing with Vinny never ceases to amaze me on the big fish that this guy catches. This guy's fishing the canal constantly, very deserving of it. I consider him a grinder. Even though I don't know him personally, I see the pictures, and the pictures don't come once every 2 weeks. The guy is grinding out there a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Vinny, Oscar and I, Oski, we joke a lot that if you find Vinny, you find the fish. He's always around. He's always putting in time. He posts some great videos of catching fish, great pictures. But you see him from time to time, and you'll get an update from him when you see him. But he's always moving. He's always talking to folks, and he knows where the fish are. So he's one of the people that if you see him, you'll find fish. It's easy with the canal because it's so accessible. You have roads on both sides, and you saw that last year.
Sure.
Thanks, by the way, for the electric bike thing. I spent a good chunk of money getting one of those because you you talk so highly of it. But
Yeah.
that was nice. We can talk more about that later. But
Cool.
it's so easy to get around that if you just go and watch where people are, you can learn where to fish the canal. And you have to put time in, and you have to try. But if you show up on a Saturday morning and you look around, you can see where the spots are. It's not rocket science. Learning it, that takes time and effort and trial and error for sure. But you can start your process just by looking where people are. And Vinny and Dennis, and there's a couple other guys that when you see them, you know you're in the right spot.
There you go. I've never heard the name Dennis before. That's the first one. I guess that's one of the guys also has a good following up there. But I have to ask you more on the canal. I know there are different areas. They talk about the bridges there and the railroad bridge and this and that. But I'm a kind of guy that feels that as long as you're putting in the time and, you're not going to a spot where it's a freshwater lake and you're fishing for striped bass, hoping to catch a cow. You put in your time, in a place like the canal where most areas are deep there. I mean, it is a canal. They dug it out like that. You have a pretty good chance of catching fish. Is that a true fact, Matt, or is there spots that change every year where things get hotter differently every year? Can you tell us?
So change happens, right? A lot of it stays similar, not quite the same, but it's one of the reasons that I believe really strongly in keeping a log and keeping track of where you see things, even when you don't catch fish, because it is a little different than a beach. I know a while ago you had Billy the Greek on, and he was talking about if you don't catch fish, you didn't learn anything. And in general, I agree with him. But in the canal, I like to keep track, even when I don't catch fish, because I know in a given structure that's there and a tide, what worked and what didn't work. And over time, looking back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, tell that, yeah, if I throw a bucktail jig here, I'm going to have a better chance than an SP minnow, for example. But there are some spots that do change. Every so often, the Army Corps of Engineers will dredge out the canal. And when they do that, the sand will come in just like it would on any other beach, and you have to dredge out, inlets and things like that. They'll dredge it out. And you can find those environmental assessment impact reports online. And if you read them, you can actually see
Very
where
good.
the Army
Very
Corps
good,
is
honey.
going and changing the bottom of the canal. And it can give you some idea of where there might be new holes or where things might be a little different. And that's kind of in a reel and their bag, and they go down and they sling plugs for a morning. But if you really dig into it, there is information out there that you can learn just based on what the Army Corps is doing. But that's canal level 201 or 301 as opposed to 101.
Okay.
Very cool. I love to hear that stuff. You're very knowledgeable, man. You are a very knowledgeable guy.
Thanks.
No,
I have a lot of time on
he's
my
a
hands.
knowledgeable guy, this guy. I like
What did you
this
say?
guy.
You have a lot of time on your hands?
Yeah, that's good. I don't want a lot of time
No.
on my hands. I don't have that much time on my hands, Matt. I do a lot of cooking and cleaning and all that kind of good stuff, So, listen, I'm not saying you don't, but anyway, no, I'm kidding. So, talking about the canal like that, I like that. I like the knowledge I get from you. Oh, you guys are absorbing this. Look, guys, I'm going to tell those guys out there right now. For the guys who keep saying, Mr. Poseidon, he sucks, he's a rookie, he's a guppy, he's a, what do they call the other thing, a newbie, and in Montauk, forget about it, I'm a Googan. But don't worry about that. I've been fishing 55 years. I grind. That's one thing that I do is I grind. I'll fight anybody on that. I grind a lot. As my ankle is getting better, I'm getting out there more. I'm going to talk about Montauk in a little while. But we got to get back to Matt. But I do grind, and I don't say I know anything ever. I take my own knowledge, my own things, and I use them on myself. If somebody asks me, that's a different story. I'll spread it. But I'm not no professional. I'm like you guys. You know what? I love my channel for one thing, and one thing that really gets me every time is my subscribers. They are very knowledgeable people. I get information from them. These guys are all from different areas. Whether you're talking Brooklyn, Rhode Island, Queens, New Jersey, I'm getting information from everywhere. And it's not like, hey, come here and catch the fish. No. By the time I get there, the fish are gone. They're giving me information on how to fish these areas. And they're so important to me. Oh, what are you talking about, Mr. Poseidon? Throw a lure if the fish is there. Well, let me explain to you. Here's Matt on the show right now. When I went there last year, here in Long Island, I'm not really taught to take a bucktail and bounce it off the ground. It's floating and centering off the bottom there, keeping it off the ground. That's the way they say the best point of attack is. But in the canal when I got there, obviously you're using heavier lures. Just take that same lure, put another 4 or 5 ounces on it, and you're set to go. But here was the difference. They told me at the canal that it's got to bounce on the bottom. Off the rocks on the bottom, it's bouncing. So I did that. I would let it, and I would feel it land and pull it back up. You see a lot of these guys, they're fishing. You're like saying, what are they doing? That's what they're doing because that's how they fish the canal there. Now understand, that works for all lures that hit the bottom, that are low sinkers, Get down there. Get in there. And then hey. Okay, so anyway. So getting the lures down there and they're bouncing them off the bottom. That's how I caught fish. That's how everybody else was catching fish that day. So basically what I'm saying is that you guys are all great. And I love my channel for that one main reason is that I have everybody on. And such as Matt, myself, here he is. Matt, back to you. And question to you now is, how's the season this year? Has it been a good season? Now, I know you mentioned earlier that, we're hoping that it won't be something like last year, because what happened last year to this year? Explain, please.
Sure. So last year we had our, fish come in the spring, and then it got real quiet for a lot of June, July, and August. There were fish around, and if you were grinding, like you talked about, if you were there a lot, you could find them. We dialed up the logbook a few times, as I like to call it, and we got into position and found some fish as tide set up and moon phases set up, and went back to some familiar spots that we have. So our group got some fish, but it really overall slowed down for a lot of the year, and before it picked back up in the fall. So this year, the slot fish in the prior slot, if you will, before it changed here, showed up earlier, and it was really good. And it's still been good. Yesterday we went out and had a great morning. It was an awesome time. There were fish all over the place where we were. I felt bad because we were in one area and my father came down to fish and he was in a slightly different area. And I told him I was going to go meet him, but I couldn't, ride my e-bike away from the fish breaking. And by the time I got down there, he had left and he didn't catch any fish. But it just goes to show you that it's all about the spot where you're located. We were in one spot, and it's not a spot I would ever pick to go. Oski and our friend Aurelio from Left Eye Lures really like this spot. It's one that's very well known and prominent, which means that I don't like it because I generally try and stay away from those places. But I'll probably complain a little bit less about it now after yesterday. But we were in one spot. There were fish breaking. There were fish on jigs. It was really nice. Good quality fish, too, even over the old slot. But a little ways down, a mile and a half, there was nothing happening down there. So it's all, it's all relative. It all moves around, but overall, it's been a good season. We got into them. I know everyone has their own opinions about keeping fish or catch and release. I generally will keep about 3 fish a year, fillet it up, and Emily and I will have, a number of meals from those 3 fish, and that'll get us basically throughout the year. We have fish in the freezer when we vacuum seal it. So most of it is catch and release, but it was nice to get a couple of those early, load up the freezer, and now we're into catch and release mode and having a lot of fun. But it's definitely been nice, and we're hoping that it stays. And the one nice part about it is the whole canal has really seen a lot of activity. So it hasn't just been one of the ends like you talked about, the bridges or different places. If you go back and you look, there are old maps that bait stores used to create, and each little spot along the canal had a name, like the Cribbin or the Jungle or Pip's Rip. All of the spots along the canal have seen fish, and that's nice. It's nice to know where you can go and where you can find them, the radar dish or the ice rink or all these different spots. So it's been good, and we're just hoping that it continues. And the other nice thing is last year it was a real good jigging year. We did well on the bottom. This year there's been a lot of top water activity. I like catching fish no matter how you do it, right? We'll go out there with anything that we need, and I like bait fishing too. So it's not just throwing plugs and bouncing jigs. But it's nice because there's been a lot of top water activity and a lot of mornings where there are fish everywhere. And sometimes they're selective, and other times the feed is on. And if you're throwing plugs and you're in the right spot, you're going to be into some fish. So it's nice to have those mornings at the canal. That's what people associate with the canal. There are some days you can go down there, you don't have to really know what you're doing. You're going to be into fish. But if you want to catch fish consistently, you really do have to grind. You have to know your spots, and you have to know what you're doing. And you have to network. I think you could network well and not be overly skilled and still do well, because you get that information of what's there and where the bite is. But just because it happened one day doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But knowing as the moon cycle changes, as the tide shifts a little bit each day, knowing what that means for moving it down the length of the 7-mile channel, it means different things. So you can put yourself into a good position by using that information. And then sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah, without a doubt, Matt. Nice. That was so nicely said, wasn't it, Ami?
Yeah, like
did you
Luke,
listen to that, or were you just
I did.
I saw you picking
like
your
Luke,
nose. You were not
That's
listening
not
to
true,
him.
guys.
No, I'm kidding. My wife was not picking her nose. Let's
Luke,
put her on for a
like
minute.
Luke. Hi, guys.
You just got it out just
I was
in time.
going to read a comment by Luke Chesniak.
Yeah, please do that.
It's a long-term learning experience.
Yeah, but also I want to mention, it's very nice. Can you scroll back up?
Yeah.
Danny Morales, I'm going to kick your behind, bro. If anybody's sleeping with their hat, it's me right here. You see this thing? Where do I not wear? Look, if you smell the inside of it, smell the inside of the
No, thanks.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Danny, thank you so much.
Danny's a big kidder. He wanted to ask Matt if you wear your hat to bed.
And I got angry because if anybody's wearing that hat, it's me, Matt. I wear my hat.
He said LOL.
Yeah, he did say
Mr. P, I'm wearing a hat right now because when we talked earlier, I was changing over my plug bag because I didn't fish the canal today, which is really rare for a weekend day for me not to fish the canal. I went to a different spot, which was not successful, so I won't do that again for a while. But so thanks, Rob, if you're watching, I appreciate that. But in any event, Emily said, well, you should wear your hat. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because I always wear the hat.
Sure.
And the reason I wear the hat is because at night I use it to put the bug spray on so that I'm not spraying bug spray on my head, right? So it's not irritating my skin. So I use it to convey the bug spray. And then during the day, it's for sun protection, but, and to, keep the sun out of my eyes. A lot of people would ask me why I wear it at night. And then, I got these baseball caps with my Night Shift Fishing logo that Emily made me on them. And I started wearing them. And I got a bunch of weird looks like, where's your hat? Everybody knows you with the hat. You got to wear the hat.
Right, exactly.
So I'm back to wearing the hat. So I figured I'd wear it tonight. And actually, this is kind of a funny story. There's one spot where I fish a lot. If I'm going there, when I do most of my night shifts, it's in a spot. It's not a spot that I ever post pictures or videos of. Very rarely will you ever see it in a picture or video, but I spend a lot of time there. And my uncle and a couple of my buddies, Mike and Eric and Kurt, and Oscar and Aurelio have fished there with me too. But I fish there a lot, and my uncle fishes there a lot. My uncle, my father's brother, right? Obviously, he's been part of my family my entire life. And I fish with him there a lot. In fact, when I moved back to Massachusetts from Florida a number of years ago, fished with me a lot and, taught me a lot of the basics when I went and made the switch really from bait fishing to fishing lures. And one day he came down and I said hello to him. I mean, he was right down the way. It was a foggy morning and he didn't say anything. I didn't think much of it. And we're fishing and it's dark. It's like 3 a.m. So it starts to get light out. And there's not much going on at this point. So I put the rod down. I go climb up the rocks. I'm going to walk down and just talk to him. And my buddy Mike is standing there. And I can hear him saying to my friend Mike, hey, I thought my nephew Matthew was going to be here today. And Mike is like, you mean him? Like right next to you? And he didn't recognize me because I didn't have the hat on. I was like, geez.
Gotta wear the hat, man.
That's it.
I think nobody has ever said to me hello without the hat. With the hat, it's like I'll get across the street once in a blue moon. I'll be, hey, Mr. Poseidon. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm with my boss. Stop it. All right, so anyway, that's all right. It's all good. I love that. I love getting the attention from the subscribers. That means I know they're listening
watching
a little bit, watching. So,
DX Surfcaster says...
Hold on, before you get to that question, I want to get over to Frank Salamone.
Oh,
Frank Salamone, thank you so much for that donation.
Thank you.
You and your wife are wonderful people. Frank, I'll never forget the time when we all met accidentally in Montauk that time, and you guys were there, and it was just a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a great time, and I can't wait to go fishing with you again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, Frank Salamone is a grinder. His wife's always with him. She goes fishing with him.
Yeah.
A great couple. Are they engaged, Sonny? They're engaged, right? I'm sorry, Frank. I'm so sorry, Frank. I'm sorry. Are they?
I believe so.
Yeah, they are. Thank goodness. I didn't make a mistake.
I don't know.
Frank's one of those characters from The Sopranos. I just want to let you guys know. Anyhow, Frank, thank you so much for that. You're a wonderful guy, and so is your wife. And you're a great character when it comes to go fishing together with. I'll never forget that time. Thank you. All right, going back to Matt at the canal. Matt, I don't want to bring up the story of the dead guy quite yet. I want to save that one a little bit more. I want to, burn this thing to the end. I want to go 5 minutes after 8 tonight. You know what I mean? I want this thing to be all out.
I like what Bronx Surfcaster said, that Mr. P has the Clint Eastwood hat and Matt has the Crocodile Hunter's hat.
Matt, can you say something?
What was that?
Oh, he is on. I thought that whole time I seen you shaking your head, and I thought maybe you might have been saying something, and it wasn't coming through.
We're nervous now that the sound's going to
yeah,
go
we're
at
so
any
nervous. Matt, can you hear me? Are you there? No, I'm just kidding. I know you're there now.
We got it.
Thank you. And to the Striper Hunt, man, what a nice guy. I don't know you. I don't think I've ever met you, but thank you so much. That's to you too, my brother. He always donates every week. Right, honey?
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. James Flynn wants to know, Mr. P, did you get the new truck yet?
Yes, I did, James. I picked it up, buddy. Thank you for asking. So I had to get a new truck. The old one was winding down. I wanted to get something better because I want to get a camp replaced on it.
So, yeah, slowly.
Slowly, it's happening. We got it. It's in the driveway. We're going riding after this. Maybe not, but anyway. I do have it in my driveway. It's all good. I'm all psyched. I got that from the Flood dealership in Rhode Island. Thank you so much, guys, to Tyler over there. You are the man, brother. If anybody wants to deal with look, I've had some horrible experiences in dealerships, and it stinks. Everybody wants to make money. The customer wants to save. They want to make money. But was that my not easiest experience in my life?
Yeah, it was great.
And was it not the best automobile I feel like I picked up in my life?
I know.
I'm so happy. Maybe that's why this show's a little better. Maybe it really isn't Matt after all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Matt. So thank you to the Striper Hunt. And anybody want to ask any questions, just put them up. We'll be doing a giveaway tonight. Also, if you have left a comment on last week's show,
the one
which
from
which
Montauk?
was live from Montauk. We had a great time. Fished with Rick Collins. Rick Collins, yeah, I fished with Rick Collins.
Rick Hernandez.
Yeah. Fished with Rick Hernandez.
And also Brian came to join you guys.
And Brian Connor came to join us, who is on what on Instagram? So people know.
I can't remember. It's a little tricky. RJQ?
Mm-hmm. RJQ Wood. So he made my my board for cutting and that I use in my kitchen every day and that I love. Check out my Instagram account. I have a little video I did of that. It's really good. I love his board. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, guys. It was a great time this week in Montauk. Hooked up on a couple of nice fish. And the only other person to ever wear this hat, to ever wear Mr. Poseidon's hat, is on tonight. Feel privileged. It's Danny D. Morales. You'll never wear it again, Danny. I'm not hanging out with you anymore. Anyway, so getting back to Matt and
Matt mentioned talk a little bit about the slot change, what it was and what is it now. Matt, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so it used to be more than 28 or more and less than 35.
Right.
And they narrowed it down, right? So more than 28 or more and less than 31. So it doesn't leave a huge range. The interesting thing is we have seen a lot of fish in the canal in that range, though, even in the old range. And we have seen, not necessarily in the canal, but in a lot of the back bays around, a lot of the smaller fish that we hadn't been seeing a lot of recently. So that's been encouraging to see a lot of fish in the upper teens, the low 20s. So we've seen them in the slot. We've seen them in the old slot. We've obviously had overfish as well, which has been nice. But I think in terms of, rebuilding the population of fish, making that slot a little smaller will probably, help in that regard. I like to follow the rules. As I said before, I keep a couple of fish every year to eat. But, at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if they made it just a sport fish for a few years and did it that way. Maybe that's another technique. So I think we just have to pay attention, do what we can. And obviously, when we catch the fish, do our best to revive it and let it go. But as I said, I respect the people that want to follow the law and keep a fish that's legal.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt about it, man.
But they did that, so it's to help the fishery,
but
right?
Let's be realistic. So I know a lot of guys in the canal, and it's perfectly legal. Anybody has something to say, don't bring it to me. Go to the United States Court of Law, Washington, D.C. A lot of guys in the canal keep fish there. I was there. I fished. I saw myself. I'm not a liar. Matt kept 2 that day, you bastard. No, I'm just kidding. Matt didn't keep. So for me, when I hear regulations changing and shortening, for me, I like it. Personally, I like it. Why? Because I don't keep any fish. The only fish I keep. Oh, but you said you don't keep any fish. You understand that? So basically, the only time I keep fish is when I fish in the Hudson. And you mentioned earlier you like the bait fish. So do I. I love bait fishing. It's exciting. Get to sit in a chair and, drink a beer, drink a Coca-Cola, whatever you like, and relax until that bite comes. I love it. So it's a break that's my break. A lot of guys use the winter break. Winter breaks, I fish. I broke my ankle last year, right in the beginning of winter fishing. Remember, honey?
Yes,
You met me at the hospital. You were so sweet to me that night. Why can't you be like that to me every night? Every night. Come on.
Matt's laughing.
Yeah, Matt's laughing because he enjoyed those chocolate chip cookies. Anyway, that's why he's laughing.
I have one right here.
Oh, no. That's it. Cut him off, honey. Shut the show down. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Matt.
It's funny that you say that because when I had my fall last fall and missed a lot of the fall run,
right?
Emily was very nice and compassionate that day when I was a crumpled ball of person at the bottom of our stairs in the morning.
So that's what it was all about. You were driving and you saw my post and you said, "Believe that guy Poseidon. I'm eating these cookies. He's catching a million fish. My shoulder is broken. I need the cookies."
No.
I get it, Matt. That's why I love you, buddy. And you can have my last chocolate chip any day of my life, except if it's the last one, a piece of food in life. I'm sorry. I'm eating it, Matt. When you're sleeping, I'm eating it because I know you'll take me. in the daytime. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for being on the show. See you later. No, I'm just kidding. Matt, let's hear the story now. Now, before that story, I was going to say something. I was going to say one thing.
What?
I forgot. Something about Matt and fishing. All right, if it comes up, we'll bring it up.
Oh.
Other than that, Matt, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming up. No, I'm just
Stop
kidding. Matt, I want to hear the story about the dead guy. I hate to say it like that, about the passed away, deceased man. So
Yeah.
you're sitting there fishing, and all of a sudden, what comes up strolling? Not a piece of weed, not a half of a striped bass that's been eaten by a shark that one day's going to eat you in the canal. But anyway, no, I'm kidding, Matt.
What happened?
Tell us the story, Matt. I want to hear this. Got any scary music for this one, honey?
Dun, 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 dun.
It was an interesting day, but a lot of folks know that when I fish, I really like to find and recover lures that are lost. So I always dedicate a little bit of time when I'm out there, especially at the canal, because there are so many ways that you can lose lures in the weed and the rocks and everywhere. Actually, I found a lure in a tree this year, which was a first for me. That was pretty interesting. But I'm always looking for the tackle. And so we did find a dead guy in a sense. There was a big storm here a couple of years ago. It wasn't last fall. It would have been the fall before. And it was a big nor'easter, but it was a nor'easter that was, it was before it was cold enough to snow. So it was just windy and rainy. And it really turned everything up. And so Oski, who's really, my fishing partner, and our buddy Mike, we were down at the east end of the canal, and we were fishing in an early morning. It was really early. It was cold. There wasn't a lot going on. And it was really kind of eerie because there was a pack of coyotes that were sitting up at the top of the jetty that we were on. And it was a little freaky because they were up there howling, and all you could see were their eyes in your headlamps. When you turned around, you could see the eyes. They were kind of running around back and forth. So it was an eerie morning. It was really strange. And so it finally started to get light out. It was cold. It was rainy. Wasn't a lot of fish activity. And I decided as soon as it was fairly light out, I was going to walk down the beach behind us at the end of the canal and see if any tackle had washed up, any lures. It's a common technique that I use for finding tackle. And so I start walking, and my buddy Mike came with me. And we get a little ways up the beach, maybe 50 yards or so, and I see this wooden thing kind of in the water, at the water line. And it looked like, it looked different. It didn't look like trash, or it's hard to explain, but it looked like a treasure chest almost. And so I didn't think that I'm going to recover pirate gold, but it was at least intriguing enough for me to say, gee, I need to see what this is. So I kind of walked over and looked at it for about half a second, and really just instinctively decided I was going to pick this thing up because it looked like a fairly ornate box. And as soon as I grabbed it, I just had this sinking feeling because I realized that it was a box on all sides except the bottom, which was a stone. And when I flipped it up and I'm looking at the stone, it has a gentleman's name and dates on it. And I realized that this is a box with this man's ashes in it.
Oh,
So
smokes.
I looked at Mike and I said, Mike, we just found a dead guy. And
Oh.
I looked at it, and then I was like, well, I don't really know what to do. Like, I'm not going to take this home. I don't want to leave it here.
Oh.
This is kind of awkward. And so, I took it up a little ways. I put it away from the water, and I called the police in town in the non-emergency number and just said, hey, this weird thing happened. I just want you to know. And the response, it made me laugh because it was like, oh, yeah, no, don't worry. That happens regularly all the time. We'll just send the next patrol out. They'll grab it, take care of it. And so it was really kind of weird. So I went and looked the name up, obviously, and it was a person who was from Massachusetts originally, had moved to Florida. Actually, they were from Cuba originally, moved to Massachusetts, then moved to Florida, passed away. And it said in the obituary that he was an avid fisherman and that they were going to have a private burial at sea in Massachusetts for the family later on. He had only passed away a month or two before I found the box. And so kind of putting the dots together, I realized that the family probably took it, went down to the end of the jetty and threw it into the current. and it probably would have gone out into Cape Cod Bay, but that big nor'easter probably grabbed it and pushed it up. So naturally, on my way home, I always call Emily to say, "Hey, I'm on the way home. Do you need anything?" And so this was a little bit different call, but I called her and I said, "Hey, Emily, you're not going to believe it. I found a dead guy fishing."
Oh my
And
God.
she couldn't believe it. So, it was a dead guy. I like to start the story for the shock factor, but it was
Sure.
ashes in the box.
Oh God! So
So
somebody.
does
wanted
Emily
that.
ask you every time you go fishing? I'm going fishing, Emily. I'll see you later. Make sure you don't run into any dead guys, all right?
You see a lot of interesting things at the canal over time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of strange things. There were a couple of deer swimming in the canal the other day,
Oh wow.
which was weird. But so there's all kinds of different things that you see. But that was a unique one. That was not one that I had encountered before.
Right.
So you never know what you're going to run into there.
Right.
Like Wormway said, a dead guy in powder form.
Yeah. So I just want to mention NorCal Cat stopped by. How you doing, buddy? What's up, Orlando? I know you guys are fishing up there in the Northeast. I know you guys are catching big up there. Let me tell you, you guys got deep water up there. God bless you. I love you. I love the fish that you catch. And obviously, you're smoking them all on your plugs up there. Go down a little further, honey. Downward.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, he said, NorCal Cat says, last night I had a nice catching session for 6 hours of 30 to 35-inch fish. Lots of real big fish. One on the third run. Way to go, Orlando. I know you're on the fish up there. I got a couple of people texting me to come up there fishing with them, but I got to get done down here. I got a lot of more work to do. I'm also working on my projects and also trying to fish Long Island, which will be this week if I get to go out there. I had a really busy couple of months. Other than that, I don't really want to talk about a doctor crap and all that. It's still not over. Right, honey? It's not over?
Yeah, we have a couple of appointments.
Sucks, man. Don't ever let a doctor stick a finger in your butt. Trust me. Never let him do that. Other than that, I'm just kidding around, guys. But NorCal Cat, it says, hope so, Tom. Got a few nice ones, but ought to get some pictures perched on a rock solo. Without a doubt. If you're out there fishing alone, it's happened to me, especially if you're out on a rock in the water. Best you can do is lift it up and take a picture of the head and you smiling real good. But other than that, congratulations, Orlando. I know you're a great fisherman. You're a great plug maker. That's NorCal Cat. Check him out. Also, tell Moran Sectilles, get on the show. I want to see him on here. Haven't seen him in a while. Guy's a great fisherman. I know he posted some great shots of some beautiful fish up there in Massachusetts. Let's get back to Matt now. Matt, tell me the truth, Matt. Tell me the truth. Did you just find another dead guy while I was away? No, I'm kidding, Matt.
No more dead guys. No more.
That's it. That's it, buddy. It's an awesome
Carl
thing.
Newman says he found a floating body once in CR. Was a bit what?
Pleasant. Yeah. Sounds like you got relations there too. What's that guy with the axe with the max on, Jason?
I don't know.
Carl, what are you talking about? You thought it was a bit pleasant. Nah, I'm just kidding, Carl. I know you're fooling around. I'm fooling around too. I'm fooling around with Matt tonight. Night shift fishing. What's up, everybody? We're having a good time?
It was not pleasant.
Yeah.
Pleasant. Yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's a beautiful
So,
thing.
Mr. P, when are you coming back up here?
So we're talking about coming up tomorrow. Hope you and Emily are ready for us. No, I'm just kidding. So maybe, again, we might do the same thing. I got to get in touch with Brooklyn Warrior Surfcast. I know he's going up with his girl. Going to see if we can get some reservations. Maybe for the end of May. End of May. That's over now. We're talking about the end of August again. Maybe we'll show up for a few days.
We'll see.
And we'll see how that goes. I've gone through lots of money right now, Matt. Lots of money. Whether it was a down payment or paying for the thing in full, which it did not happen, it's a lot of money came down. So basically, we're broke right now. We can barely afford to give away a hook tonight. That's why we're giving away half of my booger. We're saving the other half for next week.
Gross.
No, I'm just kidding. Outcast, what's up, everybody? How you doing, Outcast? Good to see you. All right, so getting back to Matt. Matt,
Oh, here, somebody had a question
Yeah.
for Matt. Joe McCoy wants, Matt, I know most fishermen have a preference on the canal. Do you prefer new moons or full moon and east current or west current? Anything like that?
You know, it's a good question, and everybody has
And what's your favorite lure? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
everybody has a particular answer. And I bet if you were to ask the guys that I fish with the most, Oski and Aurelio and Chet and
yeah.
Rob, and they would all tell you that I like everything except fishing at Pips Rip and Bell Road. Obviously, I prefer the full moons and the new moons. Either one works. The other tides, I call them. It's me. This is not a thing. I call them backwards tides because to me, I like the low tide that's around first light when we have those breaking tides. Otherwise, I refer to it as a backwards tide. On those days, I like to bait fish, and that can be productive. But when we have the full moon and the new moon, you have the breaking tides, which would be your low tides around first light, early in the morning. In general, I like that when the flood tide is going to start and kick in for the morning and bring the fish in from Buzzards Bay into the canal or flush the bait in. Those are generally the tides that I like the most. The lures, that's a good question. It's one that I've opined on a lot on videos that I've made and in talking to others. But for top water, it's going to be the left eye lures pencil. I love those. Aurelio does a great job making them. I will say I do supplement them, and Aurelio always gives me a dirty look when I do it, but I do really like the Outcast lures as well.
Yeah.
Eric, excuse me, Mr. P, you actually gave me a yellow one last year, and it's become affectionately known as the big dog because I can throw it so far.
Yeah.
And it's become quite successful. And so Oski gets a kick out of making a couple of jokes every time I pull that one up and dial it up. But it's been quite productive. So I do like the Outcast. It's their long cast version. I think it's a hybrid. I really enjoy supplementing my left eye lures because it's just a different style for top water. And then for jigs, it's the East End Lure Co., the 5.5 ounce Boss Mac. Tyler Martin, who creates those, who makes them, who's actually someone that I should connect you with, Mr. P.
Yeah.
He would be a guest. He's a great fisherman and really, really knowledgeable. And he developed those things. And it was funny. I met him one time on the East End jetty. He told me he was going to make jigs. And I said, yeah, if I had $1 for every time I've had this conversation with someone. And then he made them and they work well. And he has them in bait shops but those are the jigs. I think I gave you one of those when you were here and you were catching fish with it.
Yeah, that's the one I still have.
I really like those jigs. They work well. And, I know that I've also have a soft spot for Savage jigs, the 5 1/3, the green mackerel Savage. You just, at the canal, it's a consistent, I call it Old Faithful. It's always there, when I need a change in form factor. A lot of times, you change the form factor, you change the colors, and you rotate until you find something that works. So you got your whites, your pinks, your greens, your blues. You try different pointy noses, stub noses, flat noses. There's a couple that you cycle through. Canal Bait and Tackle is a local tackle shop, and they make a jig that's like a combination of 3 different styles of jig. And it's really blunt nosed, a flat bottom, and it's stubby. And it's short. It's not a very long profile. And sometimes you throw one of those and just change the way that it looks. And all of a sudden you start, it starts producing. So you work through those things. And I know that was like 7 answers to the lure part, but, they all work. So I enjoy them all.
Oh,
that's awesome, Matt. That really is awesome. Also, I want to say thank you to Gerard Casey, that $10 super chat.
Thank you.
That's the first one you ever gave us. We want to say thank you to you. Guys, we do work on donations here, basically. I don't make it really any other money. If you're considering making $1,000 a year on YouTube money, then please quit your job and make $1,000 a year on YouTube. And just to let you know, I worked 2 years to get to that $1,000 mark. Because those first 2 years, we made nothing, honey.
Nothing.
Because they don't pay you until you get 1,000 subscribers. And they're like, hey, honey, I hit 1,000 subscribers. We're going to get paid. And then they send you another notice that says you got to have 4,000 hours watch time. Yeah. Why did they come out with that? Because there could be a girl starting today. Put on a G-string, get out there and do some fishing, show you the rear angle, of course. It's the only one I want to see. I'm sorry. Sorry if I'm offending anybody. We do have this month, so I don't want to offend anybody. Nobody. You know? Pride Month. Anyway, so going back to that, you could take a nice video of that, and then all of a sudden you see it on YouTube, and the next morning she wakes up. Let me get this close so you can see me.
Thousands.
She has 5,000 subscribers. 5,000 subscribers. So basically, YouTube said, well, we have people getting them overnight. Let's come out with the watch time. So you have to have 4,000 hours watch time.
Yeah.
So even those people who get, and I say people because I don't want to center on anybody, get myself in trouble on YouTube, and tomorrow I'm not here. So wouldn't be that bad. There's only 50 watchers tonight. But I love every single one of them. They're all great. Joe McCoy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. So getting back to what I was saying, it's nice. I'm so glad I have all you guys. You guys are great. The Striper Hunt, the Speedo Mr. P. Striper Hunt knows, and I know who you are, Striper Hunt. Don't think I don't know who you are. But anyway, thank you for that, Mr. Speedo. I love you. I wore my Speedos when I was younger, back in the days, fishing with a rod on Field 6 in Jones Beach. I admit it. And I considered myself a surf caster. Could you imagine the guys actually walking by in their gear and their waders? And I saw that. I would see them walking by. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? It's 90 degrees out. Those were what we call today the grinders, man. They went out there full force. They knew they're going to be in the water for hours. If you're going to be in the water fishing for hours, I don't care who you are, it's going to get to you after a while, especially if the water's a little cold. Is there a problem, honey? I'm going to put you on for this one because right now, guys, I'm angry. This is a family argument we're having right now. Why are you making faces when I'm explaining to everybody?
I want to get in the question from Tom Hood for Matt.
Is that it? This is why you got angry at me and you let those hands flutter in the air? Oh, you play the part so well here. Matt, you're married. You know Matt.
Matt understands.
Oh, that's okay. But you haven't been married for 25 years. This September coming up.
That's true.
Thank you so much, man.
Well, what's the question from Tom here for Matt?
Go ahead,
what are
Tom.
you using for bait on those backward tides?
So for bait at the canal, the thing that I use the most is just chunks of mackerel. Squid works as well, but over time, the most productive is just mackerel chunks on a 7/0 circle hook now.
Yep.
And I use a 4-ounce weight on a slide swivel above the hook leader, and just let it go out there. Usually I'll fish 2 poles, one that's in kind of close to the rocks, which usually if it's not a fish, it's going to get hung up and you lose the rig and you retie and do it all over again. And one I cast as far as I can and try and pick out fish that are out, closer to the middle of the channel.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I love it. I love it. Matt, so we're going to start winding down the show right now. We're going to do our giveaway over here. Tonight's giveaway. Can you hand me that, Laura? There it is right there. So tonight we're going to give away an R.M. Smith plug builder. Now, guys, to let you know, just before I start telling the other giveaway, I want to mention you guys, I do have an Ebb Point bag here. This is for an eel pouch. I would like to use this in these months. You fill it up with eels in here and any other lures or anything you like in here. It's a 3-2 bag. God, it's a beautiful bag. Look, I buy this product because I believe in this product. The kid's a good guy. He makes some beautiful bags. Look at this. So I don't know if I'm going to give this away or if I should keep this for myself. Obviously not going to be given away tonight. It's a beautiful bag. And the eel pouch is also removable. It's got the little locks on the side and the Velcro in the back. It's a great bag. But tonight, and I believe in Ebb Point, I like to call them Ebby Point because of the 2 B's. It's pronounced Ebb Point. So tonight we're going to be giving away an R. Smith plug builder guy, handmade wooden lures in Jamestown, New York. There it is right there. It's a beautiful lure. It's a treble hook in the front and a single hook in the back. This guy totally gets it. Metal lip, swim under the water for you a few feet. It looks like a nighttime plug. You can use this whenever you want, but for me, I would use this at night. It's got a bottom of a purple and a top leading to a black, dark. beautiful big eyes, which I love. Beautiful plug. We'll be giving that away. And a few weeks ago, I had the fish wrap writer on. What an awesome guy, Todd. Todd's an awesome guy, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Todd fishes up in Rhode Island. He also tells me he goes up to Maine. I'd like to join him there sometime. Great fisherman, a great writer. He writes for a few papers up there. He gave me a few of his owls, goldfish. These are the secret remedy. You can catch some big fish with this one right here. A lot of guys believe in this. So that's the owls, goldfish. I'll be giving away one of those. And they plug tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this, guys. I appreciate you so much for donating those products to me.
Nice.
We ready to do that, honey? We're ready to do the little giveaway?
Okay, yeah.
So if you got a comment in last week's live stream, which was us in Montauk, which was a great time. I had a great time with you, honey.
That was fun.
We had a couple of nights.
I got to hang out
good
a
night
little bit
sessions
with Beth while you guys were fishing.
Yeah, but on the night session when I came in on one of those. Anyway, so what happened was we're going to do that one.
Okay.
And we're going to spin it. Are you ready to spin it, honey?
Okay, ready? I got it here. Set it
And
up.
there you
Okay,
go.
ready,
And let it go. And you mentioned it.
1, 2, 3. Bloodline Fishing Adventures.
Bloodline Fishing Adventures. He's always on here. Jason Palmatier.
Jason, thank you.
Another great guy who's been here from when we used to have less than 5 people on the show weekly. Jason Palmatier, thank you so much. So the giveaway,
So nice.
you have to be on the show. There he is. He's here
There's
already.
Bloodline. Woohoo,
Even
there's
before the
Bloodline.
countdown. Even before the countdown. But anyway,
Nice.
Bloodline, please leave me a message on my Instagram with your address. I think we sent them something. Did we? No, maybe not. But if not, just leave a message, and I'll be getting it out to you. NorCal Cat, it's always a pleasure to have you on my channel. Like I said, make sure you let Moran Sexatilis know. Come on by. I love having that guy in my show. He's made some great posts, Moran. He's got some big fish out there. These guys are battling over there, man. They're going. He's the
Nice.
champion standing at the Surf Rats Ball tournament that's going on with Bill Wetzel. He'll have his shindig in July. I'll be there again. I love that. It's a great event. Prizes, giveaways, raffles, the whole works. It's just a wonderful time. But see you guys soon again. Congrats to the winner this week. Antagonizer knows Tony. I didn't say hello to you. Got a few lures. I'll be using those in Jersey this year, buddy. And I'll be using them in Montauk, too. But definitely get out there. Guys, get out there and go fishing. Striper fishing's the best. My man, Matt. Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Thank you.
I
Much love
appreciate
to
you.
you
I
and
hope
to
you guys
Emily.
had out. Yep, go ahead, honey.
Hugs and kisses to you and Emily.
Of course. Thank you.
Definitely.
Emily says hi. She's
I
here.
hope we'll get
Yeah,
to see
I know
you
she's
later
there
in the
with you.
year.
You got a great wife, dude. So we all have great wives. If we're still in love with the women that we married, we have great wives. Grandpappy, I didn't even say hello to you. You're the man. Another guy who's been here since the start. What's the number of Wetzel's 20? I don't know who's leading right now, but I think it might be in the 30s, 40s. I don't really know.
NorCal Cat 44. he
44.
thinks.
There you go. NorCal
Thanks.
Cat. Thank you for that. Yeah, I don't blame him for that. It's probably up there. It usually is. A lot of fishermen. That's a coast-to-coast fishing competition.
Nice.
Guys, there it is. Frank Salomon, Montauk Mike. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Montauk Mike,
That's the leader?
there is nobody in the world that fishes Montauk more than Montauk Mike. He put out a great post.
47 and a half.
He put out a great post. Montauk Mike put out an awesome post last year. And the post was, he took a picture of the Montauk parking lot. And there was like nobody in the whole lot. And everybody's online going, hey, there ain't no fish in Montauk. There ain't no fish. And Montauk Mike posts, well, you know, how do you know there's no fish in Montauk if you're not fishing it? And Mike isn't the guy to brag and show off and start posting pictures. The only time you'll basically see him posting pictures is in the Bill Wurzel tournament because he has to. Montauk Mike, congrats to you. You are a true Montauk fisherman. Nobody fishes Montauk more than you. Nobody.
Wow.
You are the best. Thank you so much, and I hope to meet you and see you at this year's Bill Wetzel tournament, the shindig that he has yearly. Good luck to everybody out there. Good luck to everybody out there who's fishing the tournament. Other than that, thank you, Matt, again.
Matt,
yeah, go ahead,
a lot
sweetheart.
of comments out there saying thanks, Matt. Great learning from you, from Catskill Outdoors. So thanks, Matt. It was great hanging with you. I hope we get to see you later in the year. We'll see.
There you go.
Make it out.
We'll be ready for you.
Yes, sir. NorCal Cat, the leading fish for the Montauk Classic, is 48 pounds by John Bruno right now. Wow. Sweet as pie. Good, good, good. Love to hear it. All right, guys, here we go. Thank you, everybody, for attending the show. Congrats to the winner tonight. To everybody who made donations, thank you so much. I am Mr. Poseidon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I got some videos coming out, the Montauk video. It's going to be good, going to be fun. I love this show, but I love you guys more. Cheers to the pineapple and wormway. Thank you so much. Tom Hood and everybody else. Let's go, Matt. Thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm yelling. Put on your earphones if you don't like it. Honey, I love you. Thank you, everybody. Let's go. Here we go.